When your cat steps on you in the middle of the night, it rarely feels intentional. It seems random, maybe even irritating. But this behavior carries meaning that most owners completely overlook. In reality, it's one of the clearest forms of communication your cat uses when everything around them goes silent. And how you react in those moments can either strengthen or confuse the bond between you. At Dr. Meow, we break down these subtle behaviors so you can understand what your cat is actually trying to communicate, not just what it looks like on the surface. There's a reason your cat chooses specific areas like your chest, neck, or face. These aren't random targets. They're the exact places where your breathing is most noticeable. From your cat's perspective, this is a basic survival instinct. In the wild, lying next to an animal that suddenly becomes still could mean danger. So when your cat feels your chest rise or senses the warmth of your breath, they're verifying one critical thing: you're alive. This explains why the behavior happens mostly at night. During the day, you're constantly moving, speaking, interacting. At night, all those signals disappear. To your cat, it's like you've shut down, so they initiate a check. Interestingly, this check is often repeated multiple times during the night. Cats don't rely on a single confirmation. Their instincts push them to reevaluate periodically, especially if the environment stays quiet for long periods. Another layer of this behavior is less obvious but equally important. Your cat isn't just stepping on you, they're marking you. Cats have scent glands in their paw pads. Each step they take deposits a subtle chemical signal. It's undetectable to you, but extremely clear to other animals. Think about your daily routine. You leave the house, interact with different environments, and come back carrying unfamiliar scents. By nighttime, your cat's previous markings are mostly gone. So they repeat the process, walking across you to re-establish their claim. This behavior also acts as a form of reassurance. By covering you with their scent, your cat is not only communicating ownership to others, but also stabilizing their own environment. Familiar smells reduce stress and create a sense of control. Sometimes your cat suddenly climbs onto you with no warning, alert and focused on something you can't perceive. That's because they're reacting to sounds outside your sensory range. Cats can detect frequencies far beyond human capability. While your hearing caps around 20,000 hertz, theirs extends significantly higher. That means subtle environmental noises like movement in walls or distant activity outside are fully audible to them. Instead of hiding, many cats choose elevation when assessing potential threats. At night, you become the most accessible, elevated, stable surface, so they climb onto you to observe and evaluate. What's important here is that your cat trusts your position. They don't see you as a risk, they see you as a safe vantage point. That level of trust is built over time and reinforced through repeated calm interactions. Your cat isn't randomly choosing where to lie. They're actively searching for the warmest area of your body. A cat's body temperature is naturally higher than yours, which means they lose heat faster, especially when the environment cools down at night. As a result, they seek external warmth sources. What feels like pacing is actually a scanning process. Your cat steps across different parts of your body, comparing temperature through their paw pads. Once they identify the warmest zone, usually your chest or core, they settle there. This process is surprisingly precise. Some cats will even adjust their position multiple times until they reach optimal comfort. It's not indecision. It's fine-tuning. Not every nighttime visit is passive. Sometimes your cat clearly wants a reaction. If they escalate from walking to sitting on your face, vocalizing, or tapping you repeatedly, this is deliberate behavior. Cats are biologically programmed to be most active at dawn and dusk, so while you're in deep sleep, your cat is entering peak alertness. At that moment, they typically want one of two things: food or stimulation. Cats develop precise internal timing. If feeding happens at a consistent hour, they anticipate it with surprising accuracy. That's why they start waking you slightly before the usual time. It's preemptive behavior. The second trigger is excess energy. If they didn't expend enough during the day, that energy resurfaces at night, and instead of resolving it alone, they involve you. A useful strategy here is structured play before bedtime. Engaging your cat in active play sessions can significantly reduce nighttime interruptions by burning off excess energy in advance. There's one final explanation that goes deeper than survival, territory, or routine. It connects directly to your cat's earliest experiences. If your cat climbs onto you and begins rhythmic pressing with their paws, often called kneading, this behavior originates from kittenhood. Newborn kittens knead their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. It's one of their first learned actions. And unlike many early behaviors, this one doesn't disappear with age. When your adult cat kneads on you, especially at night, their brain is associating your presence with that same sense of safety and comfort. Your warmth, breathing, and heartbeat recreate the closest equivalent to that early life security. This is also why kneading is often accompanied by purring. It's a full-body state of relaxation and emotional comfort, not just a physical habit. What seems like random nighttime disturbance is actually a layered set of instincts and learned behaviors. Survival verification, scent marking, environmental monitoring, thermal regulation, routine-driven actions, and early life memory all combine into a single pattern. Once you understand this, the behavior stops feeling arbitrary. It becomes predictable and, more importantly, interpretable. And that shift in understanding doesn't just change your perspective, it changes your relationship with your cat entirely. If this helped you see your cat in a completely different way, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Dr. Meow, and drop a comment about your cat's weirdest nighttime habit.